president tends to listen to people like that because Chuck Grassley doesn't suffer fools gladly. One of the many reasons why I have such great respect for him. Senator, very good to have you.
Well, thank you, Neil, very much.
You know, you had essentially said, I found your comments interesting, where, you know, this approach the president is taking isn't working. And furthermore, you referred to the fact where a lot of Republicans pounce on Joe Biden that he's, you know, just mailing it in and campaigning from his bunker, that approach, you know, worked for McKinley and he got elected president. So be careful what you're saying. Do you think, as things stand now, Senator, Donald Trump is going to lose this election?
No, I don't think so, because I think that he's in about the same position he was 4 years ago from the standpoint of what the polls show, and then you know the polls were wrong. But let me give you an example. 124 days till the election. This election's about the future. It's about 329 million Americans. It's not about one American, just Trump, and as long as Trump keeps it on what he wants to do for the American people, and that's what he's going to do, I'm sure, he'll get reelected. And also, I think that that emphasis upon in his Twitter, because he tweets to about 80 million people, every day he puts out a positive message. It's going to help him. And the extent to which he has the feelings of the people, like those that are murdered by policemen, how he can support the policemen for sure. We all have to support the policemen. But when something's done wrong, then you speak about that with empathy. And the more empathy the president can show, the more he's going to be go up in the polls.
But Senator, he has not done that. He's not done that. And I know the Wall Street Journal, an editorial to which you yourself referred, had echoed a lot of this conservative concern in saying that, speaking of the president, quote, he still has no second-term message beyond his own grievances, and this historic repudiation would drive him out of office and risk taking the Senate majority with him. So time's a wasting for him to do the kind of stuff you say, and he's not.
Okay, I can answer that for you. There is a second-term agenda. It's just a question when they make it public. I think the sooner they make it public, the better. But it is about the future. But it's also about a president delivering on the promises he made in the election, whether it would be 2 Supreme Court justices, or whether it's today we're celebrating the U.S.-Mexico-Canadian agreement go into effect. This is a president who, more than 3 other presidents, knew what was wrong with NAFTA, and he says we're either going to get out of it, we're going to change it, and he changed it for the better. And most presidents run on a platform, but they don't stand on that platform. And if there's one thing about this president that's very predictable, what he said in the campaigns, he has tried to carry out in the 3.5 years that he's been president of the United States. And I think that's something you don't see very often in presidents. And when this president starts talking about the future instead of the past, start talking about the 329 million Americans and not just about himself, I think that you're going to see this very dramatically turn around.
Well, you're probably right about that, but he doesn't do that. You talk about how he's different than other presidents on trade. He's different than other presidents on dissing other presidents and on going after reporters, on. I mean, he's the leader of the free world. Does he waste his time on these ad hominem attacks that take away, to your point, Senator, all the good things he is doing, and the good economic news and all of that, and the comeback for the worst of the virus? That's falling on deaf ears because he's just, you know, blitzing the airwaves with nonsense.
The answer is yes, you are right. And I hope the president hears you, and I hope he hears me saying you're right. And it's very easy. Just forget about yourself. Think about all the 329 million Americans that you're making a better life for them already, and you want 4 more years to continue to make them a better life.
Right. No, you make a lot of sense. Senator, let me ask you, one of the other issues that's come up on the virus, a lot of people are second-guessing what the president did and when and all of that. And even saying that the reason why a lot of Americans don't bother with masks or follow up on some of the things doctors say they should do that would avoid governors going back and changing their phased reopenings is the president doesn't wear a mask, for example, and they figure if he's not, why should they? Do you think he should wear a mask?
Yes, and I wear a mask. Most senators wear a mask. I kind of like a mask because when I go to the airport, nobody knows who I am. I don't get bothered.
I like that. That's a very good answer. Senator, it's always a pleasure. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you. Goodbye.